Hello. Recently through the post I got a very nice parcel from 3 enterprising railway modellers down in South Wales who've styled themselves as PPM models, and they're doing typical British outline buildings 3D printed in Z gauge. The only connection I have with them is that Max, one of the members, is actually the guy who bought Midsummer Mardy, my old Z gauge layout, British layout. And he sent me these samples to show what they've been up to. I'm going to look initially at this one, which is a little signal box that they're doing, mainly because I'm going to use it on Republic Steel. It saves me scratch building one for a forthcoming article I'm writing. And you can see that they've actually done a very enterprising range of different buildings in Z, typically British and in fact quite typically South Welsh. Come in a polythene bag with a simple card header, description on the back, and also some glazing supplied with them as well. One of the nicest things that they've done so far is the typical terraced houses, and enterprisingly they've done them based on a flat terrain and also a sloping one as if it's in the Welsh valleys. The typical Welsh chapel shows that it's made actually from a sort of hard thermoplastic, done on a home printer rather than being farmed out to somebody like Shapeways. So I'll have a look at some of the range and then I'll show you how I get on with the signal box. The church also has some nice printed stained glass windows that you can insert. There are 3 that don't work for me. One is the engine shed, which is massive and looks more like N gauge than it does Z gauge. And also the tunnel mouths, the representation of the blockwork on them is far too big and chunky. So in their initial letter, when they sent me the first few samples, they did admit that they regarded them as quite rough and ready, but obviously they look like they're going to be quite handy for creating in effect an instant village. Because of the thermal moulding 3D printing process, you'll actually find that there's little fine whiskers of material dotted around all over the place. While I wouldn't normally put these in the ultrasonic cleaning bath like I do with the castings I get from Shapeways, I'm going to do it with these just to see if I can get some of these fibres and odd bits washed away in the first place. And the first thing to do after that will be to clean up some of the layer lines on the roofs and that. I mean, it's actually not bad, but it's going to benefit from a bit of gentle sanding and then some sympathetic painting. I'm starting off with a small flat file just to get the more pronounced layer lines off the roof. Once I've got that relatively smooth, I'll then finish off with something finer. So this is 180 wet and dry paper, 180 grit wet and dry, that I'm actually using wet. And then I'll go down to a finer grade. My two smallest square needle files should just about get into the windows. Normally I'd use a triangular file for square holes, which is what I was taught in my old engineering days. But I don't have a triangular one small enough, so I'm going to try and get in with this one just to clean out the window frames. I'll put some extra light on now as well so I can see what I'm doing. So after a bit of cleaning up, I mean realistically it only took about 10 minutes to smooth it down. I then repainted it with acrylic red oxide primer. Did the roof in a lighter shade of grey, it's actually Tamiya German grey, and initially I painted the window frames white. These looked a bit too much, they looked a little bit over the top, so I've gone for more of a buff colour to tone it down a bit. The next thing I'll be doing is glazing it, but using crystal clear, basically liquid glazing film. And then I'm going to put some gutters and downpipes on it, and then it's pretty much finished. Apart from thinking of a name for the signal box, to the signal box name boards. So that's the signal box completed. Quite a quick job really. Bit of cleaning up, bit of repainting and then glazing. At some stage I might put the outside walkways on, I'm still debating about that. But it certainly saved a lot of time over scratch building one. You'll also see that I've put together the representative of a small sort of village using the terraced houses, which might become a permanent feature on one of the photo extension boards at some stage. I'll put the email address of PPM on at the back of this in case any of you want to get in touch. I don't have any idea of pricing. These were just gifts from the actual manufacturers, so it might be worth dropping a line if you fancy them and seeing what they're charging. Cheers.